Welcome travelers, TTRPG nerds, and fantasy lovers alike. Today I'm serving up some inspiration on ways to spice up your Fae Courts beyond the usual spring, summer, winter, fall tropes. This video is brought to you because it's currently Monster Week. This is an annual community event created and organized by Ginny and Pointy to bring together TTRPG creators on YouTube. This is their third year running and my first year participating, but since the theme this year is Fae, I wanted to get in on the action. Now, these are all general flavoring ideas that are meant to spark inspiration, so they can be tweaked or altered to fit basically any TTRPG format or story idea. I'm an aesthetics girly, not a mechanics girly, so I leave the details up to you. Now, without further ado, let's get into the quotes. Okay, a little peek behind the curtain here. I'm trying to do different makeup looks and outfits for each of these ideas, but this one is supposed to be two suns. See, there's a sun, and it's like a sunset, and here's the sun, it's like a sunrise, but the purple is shining through way too much, so it does kind of look like a bruise, but I'm fine, it's just makeup. Anyway, thank you. This one is the most similar to the typical seasons court, but instead of following the cycle of the year, it's following the cycle of the day. We start with the dawn court. This is the most similar to the spring court if you're familiar with that lore. It leans toward the Seelie side, but you should be more wary of them than the next court, although you should be wary of all Fae. Then we have the day court, or the sun court. These are the Seelie who are the most benevolent, but certainly still not trustworthy. This is most similar to the summer court, contains the Fae that are most on the side of good. Evening becomes the twilight court, where everyone sparkles in the sun, drinks blood, and plays baseball during thunderstorms. Wait, no, not that kind of twilight. The twilight court is unseelie in a way similar to the autumn court, where they're not as bad as their nighttime compatriots, but certainly not against trickery and using whatever methods to get what they want. Finally, we have the night court, or the moon court. They're the most unseelie of the courts, and it's best to avoid them if you can, but you probably can't. Water, earth, fire, air. In case you couldn't tell, this idea involves having your Fae courts revolve around the four elements. We've got fire, water, earth, air, and the fifth, fire, water, earth, air. Cinema. Anyway, so there's a lot you can play around with here, as each of the elements already have a lot of personality and character traits associated with them. Members of the fire court can be known for being passionate, dramatic, and hot-headed. The water court is full of Fae who are artistic and appear to be caring, but are also extremely powerful. The earth court is grounded and ambitious, but incredibly stubborn. The air court is intellectual and free-spirited, but have a tendency to be fickle. Whether they're Seelie or unseelie is up to you. Personally, I would lean more towards earth and air being Seelie, and fire and water being unseelie. There's also a lot of cool potential with the names of these courts. You go with the Latin names and call them the courts of Terra, Aqua, Aether, and Ignis. Or make it more literal and have them called Court of the Stone, Court of the Sky, Court of the Tide, and Court of the Inferno. There are countless options here, and you can mix and match as well to find whatever best fits your world. My roommate just texted that she's on the porch with her friend and I'm welcome to go join them. Should I walk out looking like this? Obviously, there's a lot of different versions of a life cycle, but for this, I went with birth, growth, reproduction, and death. For birth, we have the Court of Beginning. Wayward travelers to the Feywild always stumble upon this court first, because magic. Here, the Fae appear to be very kind and helpful, providing travelers with supplies and information for their journey. But they have a very strict set of rules, and gods help anyone who breaks those rules. Growth becomes the Court of Flowering. Aesthetically, I picture this to be close to the Spring Court for obvious reasons. The Fae here are looking to expand their court and recruit as many members as possible, so they will use any method to try and stop your party from leaving. It's like an MLM or a cult. Reproduction was a bit of a tougher one, but I asked my bestie thesaurus.com for other words for reproduction, and one of the ones it provided was replicate, which sparked this idea. May I present to you the Court of Mirrors. A court full of trippy locations where you never quite know which way is up and where you've been and where you haven't. Mysterious Fae are all around that you feel you can trust, but maybe that's just because they remind you of yourself. And this last idea is actually the first one I came up with and is the reason for my fit, and is also the reason this concept exists at all. Death becomes the Court of Decay. Personally, I love subverting expectations, so I would flip the usual narrative and have this court be the most Seelie of the four. Leaning more to the concept of the necessity and beauty of decay would make a really fun and interesting story. My phone ran out of space, so I had to move everything around, and my computer is currently having a stroke next to me, and I don't know why, so if you hear screaming in the background, she's just going through it a little bit. Now, so far we stuck with the usual setup that aligns with the season's idea of having 4 courts of Fae. But why not spice it up even more and have 12 courts. That's right, I'm talking about Fae courts based off zodiac signs. Obviously, each zodiac sign already has a lot of personality and character traits associated with it, so that makes your job easy. On top of that, each constellation that's associated with the zodiac can be the ruler of that specific court. So Gemini becomes the court of the twins, where there's 2 rulers. Leo can become court of the lion, where their leader is a red-haired, fiery Fae, known as the maned one. So I can also get into more detail about kind of what I'm thinking for each ruler if people are interested. Finally, this is the idea that I fleshed out the least, but I couldn't get it out of my head, so here we go. have one Fae court that consists of all the same people, but their personalities, goals, and alignments shift depending on the hour. It's kind of like the arena in Catching Fire, or Timmy from Date Everything. A bell tolls and all the citizens around your players shift. I think it would be most fun for their physical forms to stay pretty much the same so it's less obvious, but adding physical characteristics like an eye color shifting, or their ears growing slightly pointed could be really interesting. And maybe there's a certain hour of the night where they take on a more beastly form. I think this one could be a great device for creating mystery and intrigue, especially if you have an arc where your players are staying in the home of the Fae for a bit. Trying to stay ahead, figure out what's going on, and adjust your plans accordingly could be a really fun way to play. I have a few more ideas I'm still noodling on, so please let me know if you want a part 2. Also, please comment and let me know if you end up using any of these ideas or if you have anything to add to them. One of my favorite things about the TTRPG space and these types of games in general is the collaborative storytelling aspect of it, so I'd love to see what you all come up with. As I said in the beginning, these are all just general ideas and concepts meant to spark inspiration, but let me know if you want more details or if you want me to dive into any of these more. I'm thinking of starting a Substack or something of TTRPG flavoring ideas or design ideas so I can flesh these out a bit more there. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. This video was a blast to brainstorm and create, so thanks again to Ginny D and Pointy for giving me the bardic inspiration to actually make a YouTube video. And be sure to check out the rest of the videos in the Fae Week playlists. There's a plethora of 10 out of 10 Fae content coming out this week, so don't miss out. If you liked my vibe, I'm flattered. Thank you so much. Feel free to subscribe and follow me on all my socials. They'll be linked in the description. I also make videos on TikTok and rarely ever post on Instagram, but I do have one. That's all for me for now. Get a sweet treat, stay wild, and don't walk into mushroom circles. See ya!